There is a pattern most people misunderstand. You meet someone who has only one or two close friends, maybe none at all. Immediately, quiet assumptions begin forming. They must be lonely. They're probably antisocial. Maybe people just don't like them. But those assumptions reveal something interesting. We often measure someone's life by how many people surround them. Rarely do we ask a far more important question. What kind of person does solitude create? Because sometimes a small circle is not the result of social failure. It is the result of psychological evolution. And once you begin seeing the pattern, you may never look at solitude the same way again. The first pattern is the rejection of performance. Most social environments quietly reward one thing: approval. People learn to laugh at jokes they do not find funny, agree with opinions they do not believe, hide parts of themselves that feel inconvenient. Little by little, personality becomes performance. But some people eventually grow tired of performing. They discover that constantly maintaining an acceptable version of themselves is exhausting, so they stop. Suddenly, fewer people remain. Not because authenticity pushes everyone away, because authenticity quietly filters people who only liked the performance. There is an enormous psychological difference. Some relationships survive because you continue pretending. Others survive because you finally stop. The second pattern is comfort with silence. Many people fear being alone, not because solitude is painful, but because silence introduces them to themselves. Without distractions, without conversations, without constant stimulation, the mind begins asking difficult questions. Who am I becoming? What do I actually want? What am I avoiding? These questions make many people uncomfortable, so they stay surrounded by noise. But people who become comfortable with solitude slowly discover something remarkable. Silence stops feeling empty. It begins feeling honest. Instead of escaping themselves, they become curious about themselves, and that curiosity changes everything. The third pattern appears in the way they choose relationships. Society often celebrates large social circles. Psychology celebrates something different: emotional safety. People with very few friends often become extremely selective, not because they dislike people, because they understand something experience teaches. Every relationship carries psychological weight. Some relationships create peace, others quietly consume it. They stop asking, "Who wants to spend time with me?" and begin asking, "Who leaves me feeling more like myself after they leave?" That single question transforms friendship completely. Quality replaces quantity. Depth replaces attention. Trust replaces popularity. The fourth pattern is one that almost nobody notices. They become increasingly difficult to manipulate. Why? Because loneliness teaches a lesson approval never can. If you already know how to stand alone, people lose one of the most powerful ways of controlling you: fear of exclusion. Many unhealthy relationships survive because people fear being left behind. They tolerate disrespect, ignore red flags, remain silent when boundaries are crossed, not because they agree, but because belonging feels safer than honesty. Someone who has learned to be emotionally independent carries a very different kind of strength. They no longer ask, "What if they leave?" because they already discovered they can survive without constant validation. Ironically, the less desperately you need people, the healthier your relationships often become. Then comes perhaps the deepest pattern. Their identity slowly moves inward. Many people build identity from external feedback, compliments, recognition, popularity, attention. But all external identities share one weakness: they disappear the moment attention disappears. People who spend significant time alone are often forced into a different journey. They begin asking, what remains when nobody is watching? That question builds something extraordinarily stable: character. Character survives applause. Character survives criticism. Character survives loneliness because it no longer depends upon witnesses. And that may be the greatest freedom of all. The truth is, not everyone with few friends is emotionally healthy. Some people isolate because of fear, some because of pain, some because of unresolved wounds. But when solitude produces authenticity, peace, discernment, emotional independence, and self-knowledge, it becomes something entirely different. It becomes growth. Perhaps society has misunderstood the pattern all along. Maybe the goal was never to know more people. Maybe the goal was to know yourself well enough that the people who truly belong naturally recognize you. Popularity gathers crowds. Authenticity gathers the right people. Those are very different achievements. Most people see someone with few friends and assume something is missing. Few people ask, what unnecessary things have they already stopped carrying? Because once you stop living for approval, you stop chasing conversations that exhaust you. You stop maintaining relationships built on performance. You stop apologizing for enjoying your own company. And something unexpected happens. Loneliness slowly transforms into peace. Most people see isolation. Few people see the hidden psychological pattern underneath it. And once you see the pattern, you stop measuring your life by the size of your circle. You begin measuring it by the depth of your peace. Because once you see the pattern, you can change the outcome.